Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. So glad you guys could join us once again. For those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X, we're glad to have all of you with us. I'm going to go ahead and connect with our friends over on IG so they can be a part of our conversation today as well. And last but certainly not least, going to connect with our friends over on Amazon. And I'm very excited about having a first timer on our broadcast today. I don't get to do that very often on our weekend edition, but I'm very excited about having someone that I'm glad to call a friend joining us on the platform to talk about her love of books, but also business too. And we're now live on Amazon Live with Cyrus Webb Presents. If you guys are new to us on the Amazon platform, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button, either here in this corner or down below. We're excited to welcome MidnightAce Book Bar to our broadcast. Now, Midnight Ace and I have been able to stay connected thanks to Facebook, but we got a chance to meet in person for the first time last year, which was great. We're going to talk about her love of books, also her love of wine a little bit as well, and also what it's been like for her to build a business based on her own passion as well. She's joining us at a great time because it's National Book Lovers Day. So we're going to talk to Midnight Ace also about what she's reading, maybe some recommendations for you guys, but also how you can stay connected with her. Midnight Ace, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Iris, I am so delighted to be here, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, look, the pleasure is definitely all mine. Always excited to be able to talk books with my friends, and it's good to be to have you on our platform here for Amazon, but also our social. You were just saying something to me, Midnight Ace. I think it's a great way for us to start the conversation because you had said that this is not a journey you could have imagined for yourself. What has it been like for you to reflect on how your love of books and your passion for books has led you to the brand that you've now built?
Oh, wow, Iris, this is Cyrus. This has been such a journey for me. Just if I can just take you back to most people will tell you they started reading books when, they were sneaking romance novels and stuff from their mothers or grandmothers or whatever. Not for me. I did not like romance at all. I was a mystery reader. My sister was the romance person. And, I was like, I could not stand the romance. But over the course of time, she introduced me to romance and things just, they just evolved. Now, I tell you, what happened with me was the first time I ever known that there were book events was when it all opened up for me. I wasn't even on social media. I was a very private person. My friends were winning books from authors, and I wanted to know how to do that too. And so I got on Facebook, and then from Facebook, hey, this event is happening. And so then you go to them and you meet these authors, and I am starstruck, right? And so from then on, it just is amazing how these people, the authors, just share themselves with you. They give you a piece of themselves in the books, and then you can stand next to them and you can actually touch and feel them. And it's not a taboo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in this room with these people, and it's just amazing. And who would have thought that reading a book would turn into such a community? And I was telling you, if it had been a burning bush moment that I would have experienced, I still would have had a hard time believing this.
Yeah, love that. I think it's pronounced Kavisha. Hello to you. Good to see you over there on IG. David, hello to you as well. Appreciate you guys already coming in over there on YouTube too, as well as on Amazon. If you guys have any questions or comments for Midnight Ace, make sure you guys put those in the chat. And what's so funny, Midnight Ace, I, for the longest time, didn't even know what your name was. Because you have to think that's all I ever see on social media, Midnight Ace or MidnightAce Book Bar. What has that been like for you to literally build a brand based on what you do? And how did the name come about?
Again, getting on social media, I was a private person, and I just wanted to cover myself. I didn't want it. If you notice, I only, you don't see my family and stuff on there is because that's not what I was using social media for.
Sure.
But as far as business was, again, this has been such an amazing journey for me again, because even with business wise, I never thought. And so, you're in this journey and everything is just, the pavement is just being made for you. Now, I don't use my real name, obviously, because, I said it was private, and then plus for the working that I was doing at the time. Mm-hmm. But now this name, actually, I can tell you where it came from. It's been years of me holding it a secret. Mm-hmm. Actually, my name came from two dogs I have. I'm a dog lover.
Okay.
Two of my dogs were taken from me. And so to way to honor them, my name is Midnight Ace. I had two labs that was Midnight. One was Ace, and I had a yellow lab who passed away, who was Scotty. So my name is MidnightAce Scotty, and that's what you see. And so that is my brand. And really, I'm go 50-50 out in the real world. Like I will answer to Midnight Ace, and I will answer to my real name, which is Cynthia.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I go by both names.
Yeah. I've gotten so used to Midnight Ace, and I'm too old to change, so that's what I always call you.
And I'm happy to do that, especially in this world. I don't want to I don't want to confuse anyone by giving them my real government name.
Right. Hey, this is how I met you. This is how you get it.
Right.
But no, with that being said, though, I mentioned you and I met for the first time in person last year. Look, I did so much travel last year. What state was that in? Which state was?
Oh my gosh, we were at it. We were in the DC area.
DC? Okay.
The area.
I couldn't remember. I remember literally because I was like, I know I met her, but which state was it?
Yeah,
okay, the DC
you had
area.
me second guessing.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that because you talked about community. That was a beautiful event. That was the Raw event. Both of us were actually honored during that event. I mean, what was it like for you? I mean, to be able to be around not only those book lovers, fellow book lovers, Midnight Ace, but also other authors, many of whom you got a chance to interview.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, like I said, just being able to, communicate with authors, talk about the business behind the scenes, because one thing I do know after reading, that wasn't enough for me. I was reading the books and then I started reviewing the books. And then how I came to my own website was at the time I was reviewing books, and then we had a little issue with Amazon, so I wasn't able to review anymore. So I had to build my own platform to continue to do that. And when I was able to do that, I thought, okay, so I have to find a niche. I don't want to just review books. I want to do something a little bit different. And so I do love wine. And so I said, you know what, how about if I will review books, but I will pair them with wines? And that became a whole thing for me. Now, not that I may not be the only one doing that, but it was just something that I wanted to do. And I thought that was great. But the other thing with the authors is when you're reviewing them, it's an honor to have somebody, an author, reach out to you and say, hey, I'm having trouble with a story. Can you help me out? And I'm just like, I'm just me,
Right.
I mean, and I don't know if you've had this, these moments where, you something else open up for you. Like, so then I call it consulting with authors, where they'll come and ask me to help them through a rough patch of a story, or read this and tell me what you think. So I've been able to be in the room with some amazing authors, and they asked me for my opinion on certain things. And, I review the books on my platform the way I want to, and on the other social media platforms as well. So it's been really great. It's been such a great experience for me.
So I think you're kind of teaching our audience on something, Midnight Ace, something that I talk a lot about, because I believe that your passion can be monetized. I believe that everyone who has a passion, they have something they enjoy, that it is something that they can turn into, a form of a business, depending on what they want that to look like. What was that moment for you? Because you went from being a book lover to then being able to offer services. When did that switch kind of happen for you to let you know, hey, this is something I could actually be able to turn into a business?
Yeah. So when I thought that this was something, somebody wanted, it was a lot of work, and I thought, and then Cyrus, you have taught me a lot too. So let me just say that first. It didn't come all by myself. You are a great mentor. You are a great inspiration to people, and you don't mind sharing. And so for that, I've taken a lot of your classes, and you have taught me some things that I would not have even thought of myself. I'm going on and on. So I've been trying to incorporate some of the things that you have taught me through your teachings, and I've now started to even advertise on my website and my social media platforms for authors. You know, I have a couple packages that I offer, and I have a few dedicated clients. Again, I started out small because I do work a full-time job, but I love it. You know what I mean? I get to sit at my little workstation. I have my client. I know what their needs are, and then I just go to work and I put my own spin on it. You know, my love for books and reading their stories.
Yeah. And thank you for that. I appreciate that. But you know, the other thing I want to give you credit for, though, Midnight Ace, is that you have, and you said something, and I hope our audience caught it. So I want to go back to it, and because you said it almost in passing, but I think it's such an important point. You said it's not that other people weren't doing something, but you are putting your own spin to it. I think that's the part people miss. People think, oh, well, people already are reviewing books or people are already interviewing. Well, that may be true, but they're not you, right? So when did you realize that your voice set you apart? Because it really does. I've watched your program and you're very good at what you do and you're so engaged with it. When did you realize that your voice set you apart and also was needed in the industry?
You know, as I'm going on, I'm doing what I love, Cyrus, and I try to keep the outside world out because it can bring you down, you know, because like you said, there's a lot of people out there doing that. And I have to make sure sometimes I'm keeping those blinders on and just really focus on what I am trying to do, what I'm trying to portray about a book that I'm reading or an author's program that they're trying to promote. And I just keep it focused. I mean, I know what I love. And I know what I can control. And so I just keep it all in perspective of what I'm trying to do and just in my own way, you know. Yeah. I think so. A lot of times we do, and it's hard not to because, you know, again, you want to do so much. You see other people doing something and it looks like it's working really well. But what I always tell a lot of people about life is that, you know, if you want to do what they're doing, you have to walk in their shoes and their shoes don't fit you. You have to walk in your own shoes, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I mean, we have to be true to ourselves if we want to last. I think that's the other thing nowadays is that it's people start copying, but if it's not true to you, you're not going to keep doing it. I want to say shout out to Jesus Black Man 23 over there on IG. Strengthen a bond. Hello to you, Melanie. Melanie says that is so true over there on IG. Appreciate all of you. Let me reset real quick and say, for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You're watching Cyrus Webb Presents. We're on Amazon Live, but we're simulcasting on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. It is Book Lovers Day, which is a great opportunity for me to interview my friend, MidnightAce of MidnightAce Book Bar, talking with her about her beginnings in building her brand, but also what it's been like for her. So, MidnightAce, I cannot have you on the show on Book Lovers Day without talking about books that you love. So, I don't want to put you on the spot, but so don't feel like you have to go in any order or anything. But, you know, there's a lot of great books out there. There's a lot of great authors, right? Who are some authors or what are some book titles that have been on your radar you'd like to share with our audience?
Okay, so let me just first say I read a lot of ARCs, and so some of the things I'm looking forward to coming up. But some of the few titles that I have read, and I'm actually enjoying them, are Delilah's Desire by Sylvia Hubbard. It's starting off with a 3-book series, but I think it's going to be longer than that. But book 1 and book 2 are available now, so I encourage you to go and check that. It's like a why choose kind of a book. So it's a little deep. So be careful when you pick that one up. And Ebony, which is a fantasy, a paranormal fantasy by author Natavia. I read Natavia back years ago. And then when you kind of get wrapped up to this romance world, you kind of get stuck there sometimes. So I've been reaching back out to some of my old loves. I'm looking for, and another one, Brenda Jackson had her 30th year anniversary, and not only was her 150th book was good, if anybody that follows the Medeiros series, but she ventured off and did a young adult book, which I absolutely adore, and it's called The Missing Lion Cub. So check that out if you have an opportunity to do that. And Iris Boland is one of my all-time favorites. and she is doing her new generation book, and the second book to that is coming out pretty soon, I think in a couple weeks, and that's Jaguar. And I've had an opportunity to look at some of the stuff, pre-look at some of it, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it, so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, and this just it is a lot. I mean, I could go on, and the show could never end with us the books, but those are some of the things that I'm focusing on right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned two heavy hitters there, Iris Bowling and Brenda Jackson. Got a chance to meet Brenda for the very first time at that event we were just talking about in DC. I had never had met her before, so that was my first time. Iris and I, we've kind of gone way back. My very first live event for Cyrus Webb Presents in Atlanta, she actually drove in, Lashira and her to be with me for that. So we've kind of met each other along the way. So that's been great. But yeah, it is so many great books out there. One thing I say, and I'm curious as to what you say, Midnight Ace, because people will come to me sometimes and ask me about certain books. And I tell people, I'm not one of these people that think because a book's not for me, it may not be for them. Mm-hmm. How do you kind of decide when it comes to reviewing, how much of your own perspective do you bring to your reviews when you're telling someone about a book?
You have to be careful with that, and I'm sure every book that I read may not be. I enjoy reading, period. I'm an eclectic reader, but then I know that there are some people that I call my book buddies. They don't like everything I like, so when I'm telling them about a book, I have to get you have to get the high points if you expect for them to even listen to you. Right. But I think it's important when you review a book too. Cyrus, is that I tell people review the story and the book, not the author, because sometimes, people can smear the lines of what a story and what a person who wrote it is. But I just ask them what they like.
Gotcha.
And I say, okay, if you don't like this, but would you mind a little bit of this? And then just depending on what they say, I can say, well, I've read this and this was really good. I think you might like this. Or, this might be a little bit too much for you. You might not like this, but I encourage them to try it because you never know, Right.
Exactly. You never know. And that's the thing. Midnight Ace, I'm so glad we had a chance to have you on. And so I have to ask you, because I wouldn't be doing my job as an interview if I didn't, are there any plans for the Midnight Ace story to be written?
I have a story in my belly, and it's been there for a long time. And I just mentioned this to somebody else who really just kind of lit a fire up under me. So not this year, but next year I have promised that I will take a look at that story, and hopefully I can get it from the belly to the book next year.
Okay. So that gives us something to look forward to. And this is being recorded, Midnight Ace.
I know.
So look, so if I send you the link to this interview.
Right. And let me just preface by saying I'm gonna begin to bring it from the belly next year.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully I can make it there. But I'm gonna bring it from the belly to some kind of design next year.
Got it.
Okay.
Look, I appreciate that. Hey, Travis, going to be able to see you over there on IG. Well, Midnight Ace, in all seriousness, I've been looking forward to seeing, because as a reader like you are, I know you have to have, those stories that are living with you that you want to tell. So I'm excited about being able to see what that is. Again, everyone, Midnight Ace of MidnightAce Book Bar has been our guest, joining us on Book Lovers Day today. She even shared some great titles. We have them in the carousel for you guys joining us on the Amazon side. So make sure you guys do check those out. Midnight Ace, how can our audience stay connected with you and kind of keep up with your platform?
Okay, the best way is my website, www.midnightacebookbar.com. And also through my email, if you have any questions, midnightacebookbar@gmail.com. And all the social media platforms, which is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, all of them is the platform is MidnightAce Book Bar. So everything is the same.
Love it.
And I look forward to seeing you guys out there.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Jesus Black Man, as well as Melanie. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys joining us live. For those of you who came in late, don't worry. The replay will be available on whatever platform you all are watching. Midnight Ace, congratulations to you again. Thank you again for spending some time with us.
And thank you. And if I can just say one more thing,
Sure.
Cyrus,
Yeah.
if you guys enjoy interviews with authors and talking about books, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is also MidnightAce Book Bar at 1984.
Okay. All right.
All
That's right.
right. Thank you, Cyrus.
You're more than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you'll make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you.